such an asshole.
Hello, children. We got a request. And when you have a request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com and send your questions over because I, the world's only professional asshole, will tell you the truth because the truth hurts. And I love seeing people in pain. If you want to have someone lie to you so that you feel good, there are plenty of other consulting agencies out there, and you can always pick up Oprah's book or read the Democrat Party platform, and you'll feel really good about yourself, even though you didn't do anything. Hello, Cappy. I'm an almost 24-year-old. Almost 24? It's over. It's over. How? It's why are you even trying anymore? It's over. You're almost 24. Well, it was a fun life. Who wants to change careers after working in marketing for almost 2 years and realizing that it's not only a bad fit for me, but that marketing communications is an oversaturated, highly competitive, and social industry, especially in the town that I live in. Yeah, and it's fucking worthless and talentless. Don't forget that too. I have a bachelor's degree in strategic communications with a digital media. with a digital media video minor. Just repeat after me. I didn't want to work for a living. Okay? I didn't want to work for a living. There we go. I was a foolish 18-year-old woman who thought that was a great idea at the time, but I now see the error of my ways. My husband is a tax accountant, and I've been recently convinced to try and switch to accounting after being burnt out on marketing. I initially tried making this switch by working as a customer service rep and accounts receivable clerk, but I just got let go from the role, and they ultimately never taught me accounts receivable, so now I'm back at square one. Yeah, I'm sure when you went there, if it's dedicated ARAP, fine. But when it's customer service rep, that's bullshit. What you work for a shit company is what I'm saying. So now you're back to square one. I've been planning on getting a bachelor's degree in accounting online. I had originally planned on getting my credentials while getting accounting experience, but that plan has now been derailed. I'm looking at getting tax experience from either H&R Block, Jackson Hewis, or Liberty Tax. But I'm worried that if I work for any of those three companies after earning my accounting degree, I will never be able to move onto a different company because those three companies are viewed in a negative light in the accounting industry. As opposed to what? The big four that's outsourcing all their jobs? I invested money in H&R Block. I own their shares. What's your advice on how best I could try to make the switch as I earn my next degree? Do I need to get internships or why not ask your husband? He's a tax professional. Do I need to get internships or can I just get by with entry-level accounting jobs? Do you think it is worth it to work for H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, or Liberty Tax to get started in these? Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how it is, and then you could try and tell me how you'd like it to be. And I'm going to tell you again how it is, and it doesn't matter how you'd like it to be because how you like it to be don't make it the way it is. And you can choose to listen to me and say, okay, that's what I got to do. Or accept a compromised hybrid approach, which is better than what you're considering now. But I'm going to tell you the lay of the land in the accounting world, what the best thing probably is for you to do. And you can then decide whether it's something you want to do. And I'm going to try my best to convince you what you want does not matter, because the last time you did what you wanted, you wasted 4 years for a joke of the degree and maybe you're not poor, but you're not doing well career-wise. All professions, all white-collar jobs, including the accounting profession, are not tenable or acceptable for long-term traditional employment. If you ever tune in to me and Chad at the Elkins Accounting Hour, which I strongly recommend you do, binge on that. You and your husband will be a very romantic date. He works in the field. He's been working there forever. I've just been observing. It is both our opinion that long-term, the best thing to do in accounting is work for yourself. Now, this is where I put shh, please be quiet. It is going to be easier for you despite what you think you want, it is easier for you to work for yourself in this field than it is to work for someone else, as you've just experienced. And this puts people who wish to get a career in accounting in a quandary. Everyone who's poor, not successful, your parents, whatever, your friends, well, you gotta get a college degree, you gotta go to college, you gotta go to college, you gotta go to college. And you gotta work for someone. Oh my God, self-employed. I don't know, bro. You gotta go work for someone. I don't like getting my own clients. I don't like. Oh. But you do like a commute and tolerating low pay and listening to fuckwits and meetings and having your jobs outsourced to India. You like that, but you don't like self-employment. And so in a very theatrical type of way, I'm trying to tell you is that all white-collar professions, ideally, you want to be self-employed. Because white-collar professions they're trying to cut those back, outsource them, do whatever they can, replace it with AI. And I mean, they won't be successful at it. Not to mention there's your standard old corporate incompetency that you experience where they brought you in as a customer service rep and never trained you in accounts receivable, right? So what I'm saying right now is if you want to get into accounting, I'm going to strongly recommend you go with the goal in mind of becoming self-employed. All right. Now, if you're going to become self-employed, there are two main fields you can get into. One is doing taxes, the other is doing bookkeeping. One of those services, the government forces everyone to do every year at a state, federal, and sometimes local level. The other one, people could do QuickBooks. Guess which one is the better one to go into for self-employment? And the added benefit is that your husband is a tax accountant, so he knows this and he can help you out. And I don't know if he's working for someone else right now, but you two could make a nice tax accountant couple where you open up your own little shop. In other words, what I'm saying is becoming a tax accountant, which doesn't preclude you from doing bookkeeping either, has a built-in customer base. Everyone has to get their taxes done. There are not enough tax accountants. So what I would do if I were you is I would aim for self-employment working in tax. Now, how do you get there? I'm kind of giving a little bit of the course me and Chad put together away. The quickest way for you to become a self-employed tax professional is to get your enrolled agent certification. You do not go to college. This is a test you take. And when you become an EA, an enrolled agent, that allows you to prepare people's taxes on your own. And also, with the time is called for it, you can represent clients in front of the IRS in a court of law, for whatever reason that happens. The main thing is that you do not need to work under somebody else if you're an enrolled agent to do taxes. That allows you, the EA certification allows you to open up your own shop. Now, how do you do that? Well, by going and working at these companies that you just mentioned and studying for the EA exam. And you have the added benefit that your husband can help you with all this. He's very familiar with 1040s and 1120S's and 1099s and 1098s and general. I mean, he's a tax accountant. So you have a tremendous resource there to help you become a tax preparer. If you are worried about, well, it's going to take a while and I'll be working for these disreputable firms, too bad. One, these firms are not disreputable. They might have a lesser reputation. Yeah, they might be in strip malls, but if your goal is to become self-employed, it won't matter what the reputation is because you'll be working for yourself. If you wish to work for someone else, that's different. Okay. And we'll talk about that differently, different approach. But if you agree with me that you should become a self-employed individual, probably in tax, we have several people, me and Chad, taking my course, or they've just consulted Chad. They went to H&R Block, they went to Jackson Hewitt, they went to Liberty Tax, and they got paid their $12 or $15 or $18 an hour, or whatever it was, depending on where they lived. They dealt with the most boring tax returns, the dredges of society, people trying to screw everyone over to get child support, right? Some good, some bad, some fun, some painful. Didn't think Red Hawk had someone shit his pants, some homeless guy, just different stories, right? This is where you put in your dues. And it may be in your mind disreputable to work for H&R Block, which it isn't. You will get the tax experience needed to become familiarized with, okay, how does a 1040 work? How does a Schedule C, Schedule A, Schedule E work? All that other kind of stuff, to the point that you become proficient, and kind of through work you study inadvertently to pass the EA exam. You also then obviously would sit your ass down and study the EA exam. The guys we've had go and work for Jackson Hewitt and those type of companies, they've done about 2 tax seasons and they get comfortable. You might want to do 3. You could probably do 1. Depends on you. But nowhere in there do you go back to college and waste money on tuition. I think there's some fees you got to pay to take the enrolled ages exam. The price you're going to pay going that route is you're going to work doing tax prep in the strip mall. And it's not going to suck that much. It's going to be better than working at the other firm that you worked at where they fucking lied to you. It's going to be better than working at marketing where Trisha and Becky stab you in the back because, OMG, look at your shoes. Right? And truly, having your husband as a tax accountant is a great resource. It's going to make it easier for you. You could call him and like, well, this is what you got to do, sweetheart. So I think you have a lot of assets on your side to go into tax prep. And that is how you start. And then there's no college, there's no tuition, there's no wasting your time sitting there. You get paid a modicum. You probably have to work another job because these are going to be seasonal, right? You're going to have to work a tax season, an extension season, maybe another tax season. Sometimes they might keep you on a little bit to do some cleanup work or whatever, but it's seasonal. It's just for tax season. But that's what you do. You get comfortable doing taxes. You pass your EA exam. Maybe you don't know everything. That's fine. You go look it up on the internet, and then you have your husband as a resource, and you just open up your own tax practice shop. So we're looking at 2-3 max years of you working whatever job during the daytime, going and working at one of these tax firms, which you should probably sign up for now. If you're interested in this, go do it now because they're taking enrollments and applications for this upcoming tax season. And I would say that is your easiest, quickest way to becoming a reasonably compensated, self-employed, and might I also add, remotely employed tax accountant. If you choose to ignore what I said, that self-employment is going to be easier than traditional employment, and you just, I don't like self-employment, and you want to go the other way, all right, now things get a little bit more difficult. First, they are going to want to see an accounting degree. So now you get to go back to college. You generally have the same 2 fields. You can do taxes or bookkeeping. You could also do what's called audit, but you are going to work for an accounting firm like the Big Four or whatever. What's Grant Thornton? They're not a Big Four. It's just a public accounting firm that does bookkeeping and taxes and audit for all the other companies out there. You will work for these companies, especially the higher rank you like, the higher, more prestigious firms you get, the more they're going to screw you over, making you work 70, 80, 90, 100 hours a week during busy season. They are not going to promote you. They view young people as a resource. So if you go that route, you're going to have to go back to college and get your accounting degree. You're going to have to get entry-level experience and get an internship. But if you want entry-level experience, you have to have 3 to 4 years experience. Otherwise, we can't hire you. You get to deal with HR. There's Becky's and Trisha's, and you're going to go into a field that is wrought with, especially the Big Four, trying to outsource everything to India and Pakistan, low pay for unacceptable hours, backstabbing office bullshit politics, DEI horseshit, ESG horseshit, corporate political bullshit. And then if you really want to make it in that field, you're going to have to get your CPA, which depending on your state means you're going to have to go to college, not just for your bachelor's degree, but either a full-on master's degree in accounting or at least a year's worth of master's degrees. Master classes. You have to look that up to see what it's by state. The Accounting Certification Board, or the Board of Accountancy, I think it's called. They'll tell you what the certifications are, requirements to sit for the CPA exam. And then if you think the enrolled agent exam was hard, wait till you take the CPA exam. And then with the CPA, yes, with the CPA, you can also then go and start your own practice if you would like. But you're probably going to have to work for a firm to pay off your student loan debt. And you will never be your own boss. They're going to force you to come in. It's going to be bullshit. Job's going to get outsourced. Heck, I just had a guy where he was working for the Big Four, by the way, is the top accounting firms in the United States. Guy went in. What was he? He was there for like a month and a half. No one greeted him. Like, he got a job, right? He didn't just walk in. No one trained him in. He didn't have a cut, and then they laid him off. The Big Four does not know what the fuck they're doing. I'm also going to assume your second-tier accounting, public accounting firms also don't know what they're doing. A lot of them are getting bought up by private equity. Your other option, if you go back to college that route, is then you go work as an accountant in some kind of industry. Like, you work in the Bob's Lumber, and you're their accountant. And you start as a staff accountant, and you work your way up to senior accountant. Oh, maybe you do accounts payable, maybe you do receivable. Oh, we do inventory. Oh, my God. And then they will be trying to replace you with software. So, and you could just, I'm sure I'm presuming your husband works for an accounting firm. He could tell you more about it. But what I think is that both of you, since he's already in tax accounting, and I'm going to assume you want an easier life that's more highly compensated and flexible, yeah, I'm going to recommend you go become a tax accountant and open up your own shop. I think it'd be very romantic that, you open up, in other words, he would be kind of like your mentor. Why did that shut down? Did I not hit record? Yep, we recorded. He's your mentor, right? He's got the health insurance through the company he's working for, and he gets you up and running so that you become a self-employed accountant. You open up your own tax. Shit, he could probably send you clients that his firm doesn't want. Maybe he joins you on this trip to self-employment, and you come up with some cutesy name. Love Dove's Tax. You could probably also do bookkeeping if you want to offer that extra service, but that's generally it. That's what I would do. You're asking, I had been planning on getting a bachelor's degree in accounting online. I agree with the online, but I don't even think you need a bachelor's degree in accounting. I think you just need your enrolled agent. I had originally planned on getting my credentials while getting accounting experience, but that plan has been derailed. I'm looking at getting tax experience from either HR. So you want tax experience? You're leaning towards tax? That's where you get tax experience. I will also, to assuage your concern about the reputation in these firms, Chad's a CPA. He says, I would do it all over again. I would go work for H&R Block. Instead of working for the Big Four, which he worked for one of the Big Four, he would rather go and work for H&R Block because he went the self-employment route. It's like Harvard having a reputation. Harvard is a shit school now. It's a joke. The Big Four is a joke. Wall Street is a joke. Hollywood is a joke. The Fortune 500, it's a joke. You don't want to work at these firms. Self-employment is the way to go. But if you're traditional and, oh my God, I don't know, fine. Lock and load for 6 years, maybe more like 4 years because you already got a degree. Go back to school for 3 years, bachelor's, and then the necessary master's courses, sit for your CPA exam, study your ass off for it. You got to work a year under a CPA to sit for the exam. So now you got to go work at Dick Suck Incorporated. Or you go the self-employment route. That's why me and Chad put together this course, among many other reasons, because we think it's the quickest way to find self and remote employment and deal with the least amount of fuckery in your life. But I am worried that if I work for any of these 3 companies after earning my accounting degree, I will never be able to move into a different company because those 3 companies are viewed in a negative light in the accounting industry. Oh, you mean the accounting industry where everyone's miserable and they make their $40,000 a year? that's outsourcing their jobs to India, that accounting industry. I know you're young. Okay, I know you're almost 24. But your life is over. I don't know. I'm surprised you're still alive to email me. Fuck popularity. You're getting at the age, maybe it's starting to become you're like, wait a minute. What everyone says is popular and reputation is all bullshit. What would be great is you run your own little tax practice and you and your husband are happy because you get to work remote or you get to work from home. It's blow jobs in the kitchen Tuesdays. Why? Because you both run your own little shop. I mean, hey, if you want to have kids, you could drop down to part-time or, handle as many clients or as few clients as you could and raise the children. You could be a stay-at-home mom while also being an entrepreneur and a business owner, like a legit business owner, not a freaking OnlyFans girl. And then you don't have a commute. Hubby comes in with the health insurance. I think you guys could be a Batman and Robin duo, man. I think you guys could knock it out of the park. What's your advice on how I can make the switch as I earn my next degree? Step one, don't earn your next degree. Do I need to get internships or can I get by with just entry-level accounting jobs? Depending if you want to do bookkeeping, accounting, or taxes. You got to figure that out first. Do I want to be self-employed or traditionally employed? At the end, right? You're going to be traditionally employed. You got to work a little bit somewhere. And if you decide I want to be self-employed, okay, you're probably going to go taxes or you're going to open up a bookkeeping practice. Neither of which do you need to have a degree. Your time is better spent getting certified in QuickBooks and Intuit and learning the accounting cycle and then offering bookkeeping services. Wouldn't hurt to get a CPA then, but I would postpone that. Your internships in a sense would be you working for H&R Block at Jackson Hewitt if you were to go the tax route. But otherwise, if you want to do, you don't want to do taxes, well, yeah, now you get to learn accounting. You get to go at minimum learn how QuickBooks work, what the accounting cycle is, and do some self-study. And then, then you get to send in the resume. It's like, can I become a staff accountant and an internship? Do you think it is worth it to work for H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, or Liberty Tax to get started in the industry? If you're going into tax, absolutely. That's why I'd recommend you go first. Absolutely. And then when all the fucking dickless wonders over at whatever, Deloitte and Touche, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Librin, or whatever. Oh my God, you work at Jackson Hewitt and they're commuting and they're working 85 hours a week and they're paid $70,000 a year. Meanwhile, you go to Jackson Hewitt. Oh yeah, you don't make that much. But then you pass your enrolled agent exam and certification after the second tax season. Then you open up your own little practice and all of a sudden you're making $100,000 a year without a commute. Oh, and you get time to raise a kid too? So that's kind of the quick analysis of your individual situation. If you wanted a much more thorough approach, like what certifications get, this and that, and this, that's why me and Chad put together the course, The World's Greatest Accounting Career, because he kept getting questions about accounting careers. And so, I've done accounting, I've done taxes, but not as a professional. I have a background in finance and economics, so I'm aware of how it works. But he got so many questions about managing an accounting career, particularly as it pertains to opening up your own shop. He put together an outline. I put together and recorded the class because he didn't want to. And we put together that course called The World's Greatest Accounting Career, which is linked below. Or if you want to search it on teachable.com, you can. And I would if you're this interested in going into accounting, I strongly recommend you take that course. It goes through all your options, all the different career paths you could take in accounting with obviously a bias towards self-employment. And then I would also recommend you listen to the Elkins Accounting Hour, which there are many episodes, but you can tune into the ones that, search for careers or click on the titles that seem interesting. Menji, $10 cap your $100,000 job as a manager or quit to do accounting. A manager of what? Really? Manager of an ice cream store? Oh, okay. Manager of a cell phone kiosk and it's all employing 20-something women? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't know. I mean, what? Yeah, imagine you gotta managing what? It could be great to be a man. And I don't know, $100,000. You do that for 5 years, save your money. Then go become an accountant. That's my quick analysis of the sentence you gave me. All right, we'll see you guys later, Toodles.